We are slap bang in the middle of the holiday season in many parts of the world. So, what better time to think about the little things that we can do that will make a big difference while traveling? In today's podcast, we will talk about the 10 travel hacks to keep you organized.
You're listening to the Declutter Hub podcast, bringing you tried and tested, no-nonsense tips and advice from the leading experts in decluttering and organising your home. Now here are your hosts, Ingrid Jansen and Leslie Spellman.
Hello and welcome, listeners. I'm Ingrid.
And I'm Leslie.
If you're new to the Declutter Hub podcast, you're so welcome. What you'll find is that we try and find a fun factor in the serious business of decluttering. And if you've been here for a while, you know exactly what we mean. So thank you so much for listening.
If you'd like to get involved in conversations relating to this podcast, it all takes place in our Facebook group. So come and join our lovely, warm, supportive community. To find the Facebook group, go to declutterhub.com/group to find out more, or you can search for the Declutter Hub community on Facebook.
Well, hello, Leslie. What better episode than in the middle of July to talk about traveling and going on holiday? I mean, I love it.
Well, it's fresh in your mind, Ingrid, isn't it, as you have just returned from the holiday of a lifetime?
Well, yes, I know. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I'm delighted to talk about holidays to get that feeling a little bit longer, Leslie.
Exactly. I bet a lot of people, when they said we're slap bang in the middle of holiday season, thought we were talking about Christmas. Half of our listeners will definitely have thought we were talking about Christmas or New Year or Hanukkah or whatever. But no, we mean holidays in the British sense of the word, like vacations. And so we're going to delve into something that we've not really done before. And we're going to go into the hack world. I mean, people call things hacks. I just think like the handy organizational tips, really. But people like the word hacks, don't they? As if it's like secret. So I don't think these are any really that secret, to be fair, but they're useful things that we have done along the way that help you when you're going on a vacation, trip, holiday. Most of these are airport related, though. We have to say that, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. So let's then get started because we got 10 travel hacks for you. So let's get started with number 1. And that one, I think that came from you, Leslie, because you were like, we need to talk about suitcases and ribbons. Tell us more.
Well, I think that as you go away, it always astonishes me when the suitcases are coming around the belts. First of all, about all the different types of suitcases and bags and colours and hard ones and soft ones and small ones and large ones and all that kind of stuff. But there are invariably some suitcases that are very similar, aren't there? You know what I mean? And so you have to try and distinguish your suitcase from other. Mine are all black, like black, medium-sized, soft shell suitcases. So there are a lot of those around. There are a lot of interesting ones, but there are also a lion's share of kind of normal, boring ones that are very functional and very useful. But you have to make sure that you can identify your suitcase, don't you?
Well, yes, Leslie, I completely agree. A lot of them all look the same. So what did Max do when we went on holiday? He put a sticker on his. I am not a fan of stickers on suitcases, so I do like your whole ribbon suggestion a lot better.
But to be fair, you're not a sticker person. If it's one of Ingrid's pet hates is stickers still on things. She's like obsessed, like to the point. I get it. I do get it. But you find a random sticker, particularly from if it's like when you go to like restaurants and stuff and you see sinks and they've still got like the actual sticker, like the underneath. I'm like, oh, I really want to start peeling it off. I felt like I can't do that. So I get your sticker pain, but I'm probably not as bad as you. But yeah, it doesn't have to be a ribbon, doesn't have to be a sticker, but it needs to be something. And so I've got, luggage tags are also fine, but also quite useful if they are maybe a little bit more colourful so you can identify them coming along the way, because you have to be on your toes, don't you? Because everyone's there, like at the luggage bell, like grabbing their stuff, and you've got to like fight your way through. It's like a bit of a free for all, isn't it?
I know. I'm waiting for the moment for someone to start actually climbing on the luggage belt. It's like you just wait 2 minutes and then it comes around again. Calm down, people. I know we all want to start our holidays, but you can. It does come back, hopefully.
So it's useful to just think about something that is going to
Yeah,
distinguish your suitcase from somebody else's. I remember
yeah.
we went on holiday one time, right? I can't remember where we were going. It was in America somewhere. And Steve had bought and Steve's very particular about his things. He has a lot of things and he's very, very particular about them, which I typically am not. So he is really particular about things. And so his suitcase came off. It's like a standard sort of Samsonite, kind of carry-on suitcase. And he took it off and he was like, look at the suitcase. It was bashed to smithereens. And so he was not happy. So he trots off to the customer service to complain about this suitcase. He was there for like half an hour, filling in the form and everything. And all of a sudden, then this air stewardess came over to him and said, I think you've got my suitcase. It's such a traveling the world, and no wonder it was like bashed to smithereens. Steve was putting in a complaint, and then she handed over his like perfect, pristine, exactly the same one. So yeah, so that's why we're a bit obsessed with the whole distinguishing feature on a suitcase. But yeah, that was quite funny, to be fair.
I love it. Well, that was a great number one. Let's go to number two. And that is that we thought, you know what? It's really smart these days to invest in some suitcase weighing scales. And we actually bought them for our holiday. So I'm really glad we had them because the thing is, they're really particular now, aren't they, the airlines, with how much weight? Well, here in Europe, they are. I mean, as far, with Ryanair and EasyJet, I mean, you cannot go over the 10 kilos. You cannot go over the 20 kilos. In the olden days, you just chucked a lot of stuff in your suitcase and just hope for the best. But these days, no, no.
I mean, you just can't help yourself but have a little game, can you? Like as to whose suitcase weighs the most. It's like, oh, 19.6 kilos. You know what I mean? Isn't it? Like, oh, look at 16. Get in. I've only got 16. Do you know what I mean? It's like every time, whether it's a girls' trip, whether it's a family trip, it's like a competition about whose suitcase weighs the most. Like, as if it matters. And then I'm like, but I've got all the sun cream in mine. That's why mine weighs. It's not the shoes and stuff. But I think it's really handy, like you say, to give yourself an idea, because what you don't want to do is play that guessing game and be one of those people that's there trying to, which is ridiculous as well, transfer things from their suitcase into their carry-on luggage or into a different suitcase. And I know why they do it. They do it all because of the like even distribution of weight across the airplane. So there is a very valid reason for it. But you don't want to be that person who's opening up the thing and having the knickers on display in the middle of the airport checking queue, do you? Do you know what I mean? So I think if you can just use one of those weighing scales things, they're dead handy. They kind of, I don't know whether anybody's seen them, but they just clip around the handle of your suitcase and you just lift them up and then you can see, I'm sure they're not like massively accurate, but I'm sure they are to within a pound or so. So that's a really useful thing. And they don't cost that much. And it just takes that stress away of not knowing what something's going to weigh until you actually get up to the check-in counter and then you find that it's over.
Yeah, and I think, once you got 20 kilos, you got a bit more leeway. But when you got to work within the 10 kilos, it's like it can get a bit like tense. Like, which pair of shoes am I bringing on holiday?
Yeah, exactly. So weighing scales really useful. Luggage tags, ribbons, stickers if you're Max on holiday, all very useful.
Yes. Let's go to number three. And that is make sure that you pack your luggage appropriately for airport security. Oh my goodness. I was away a couple of weeks ago, Leslie, before my big holiday. I did a short trip back and forward, and the number of people who make a mess of their hand luggage is like, and it's just a whole queue just comes to a grinding halt, and there's like 10,000 people trying to get through airport security, and it's like, oh dearie me, you have to be organized, don't you, to travel these days?
Yeah, I was watching it. I was watching a thing on Instagram yesterday where it was like, this is what it's like at the security gate. And it's like a guy and he's like, take your shoes off. And the woman's like, shall I take my shoes off? Oh, no, you don't take your shoes off. Or take your laptop. Oh, no, just leave your laptop there. It's wherever you go, it's different. Like even at the same airport from one security desk to the other, it's different. And you don't know what you're doing. Are you taking belts off? Are you taking shoes off? Are you taking jackets off? Laptops at cases? Do they need to go in a separate thing, plastic tray? Can you put them all in together? Like, honestly, it's literally a minefield, isn't it? It changes every time. So it's no wonder that we're confused. But I think that you do need to think in advance about what's going to have to come out of your carry-on bag or your kind of roll-on luggage when you get to airport security and not pack it at the bottom, because that's when the worst thing happens. And then they're like, oh, it goes the other way. And then you've got to unpack it all at the other end and all that kind of stuff. And then you feel as if you're carrying some kind of something for a drug cartel or whatever, the way that you feel about it, and actually it's just like a belt or something in the bottom of your bag that you didn't know that you had. And so it's really important to think about the packing your carry-on bag appropriately. Yeah. I bet you've got everything in yours, haven't you? Like, I literally don't take anything in my carry-on, like no organization whatsoever. I'm not saying not organized, but I don't take spare. I take a pair of glasses so I can take my contact lenses out. I don't take any food. I bet you've 100% got food in yours, haven't you?
Sure, of course.
I bet you've got like spare underwear. I bet you've got all that stuff, haven't you? I literally got nothing. Like, if something bad happened, I'd be like, no, not got it.
Well, I'm gonna come clean here. There were several times I forgot to empty my water bottle, because you kind of in the morning, because I'm so used to whenever I go anywhere, I bring a bottle of water because I've got these water bottles at home. And of course, then you end up trying to drink a whole bottle while you're in the queue because I forgot to empty it before, of course, I've lined up in the queue. That's happened to me several times. So I'm trying to kind of get more clued on about that. But Leslie, let me tell you, ever since I lost my suitcase back in 2016, I'm a lot more on it, because that was the worst thing that happened. I went on a week's trip to America to go to a conference and visit my family that I lived with back in 1990, my host family. And my big suitcase got lost. So I just had like a backpack with a couple of little bits, and that was it. So no underwear, no pajamas, no makeup, absolutely nothing. So I ended up in Walmart trying to find a few bits. It was not good. So now for a longer trip, I do try to put some stuff in my hand luggage, because I'm like, that was the worst thing. So I've told the kids as well for this last holiday, I'm like, put your swimsuit in your hand luggage, because if your suitcase gets lost, at least you can go swimming in the pool when we arrive. So, not good. Worst.
Well, I can definitely trump you on that one, because so we had traveled, we were going to California. So we've got, Luke was 5, Leah's 2, so we're traveling. We have to go from Manchester. It gets delayed at Manchester. We were supposed to be going down to Heathrow. Flight gets delayed because of fog. Get to Heathrow, and no luggage has turned up. So we've missed that flight. Sorry, no luggage has turned up. But don't worry, it'll be on your way. You need to go to Gatwick. We had to then travel across London to Gatwick to get on a plane. Then we had to go to LA. Then we had to get on another plane to San Diego. It was something like 29 hours door to door, with a 2-year-old in tow, right? And the 5-year-old, and my husband as well. And yeah, of course there was no luggage when we got there. So because I was like a mum on a plane, I was there in like a fleecy tracksuit, you know what I mean? Trying to be all kind of, comfy on the plane. So I get off in San Diego, it's like 100 degrees, do you know what I mean? And I'm there trying to walk around the shops, trying to get clothes. So I had to get clothes for the kids, clothes for myself, swimming costumes, things to go out, toiletries, nappies. There's a few nappies. I had nappies and milk, but not loads. Literally I had to go shopping. But back in the day, though, you used to get loads of money. So they gave us literally thousands of dollars compensation there and then to go spend. So it was actually, apart from walking around San Diego in a fleecy tracksuit, it was quite good fun, really. I went on a bit of a shopping spree. But has it taught me anything? No, absolutely. Still don't pack any supplies. But anyway, we're not talking about what I do. We're talking about what the travel hack says. And travel hack says, we just went a bit off piece there.
Yeah.
It's actually nothing to do with what we started to talk about. Anyway. So yes.
You have to travel. You pack your hand luggage appropriately for security, so you can easily Just take the things out that need to go out, and you can just keep the line moving. Keep the line moving.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right. Let's
Let's
go
get
to,
back on track.
yeah,
Back on track.
yeah. Number 4, make some digital copies of important documents and put them on your phone and send them to yourself as an email, because things happen. Things happen.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really important, isn't it? So if something does go wrong with your passport, with your, whether you need that insurance documentation when you're on holiday, all those kind of things, even travel documents, really useful to have them both in paper-based form, if that's what you've got, and in digital form as well. And then they've got both eventualities. So if your phone gets stolen or lost, or if you lose the paper copy, you've got that backup, particularly with your passport, because that's something that you're absolutely, is going to make life so much easier if you've got to go to some embassy or something in a foreign country to try and sort out your passport. So definitely just snap it on your phone. It's so easy these days, isn't it? To just take a photo of stuff. Back in the day, you had to photocopy it and scan it in and all complex things, but now just snap it on your phone and just keep it there.
Yeah.
So that you've got that. I think that's really useful and really helpful. It's something that a lot of people miss, right, Ingrid?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that is something that I think I have to really remember to do. That's
Yeah.
not something that immediately I think of, but I'm like, yes, that's really, really good and really important. And I think also as well, having a wallet as well. I mean, I know we're going off piece a little bit again, but a lot of the things, if you go to like gigs now or concerts, you can put stuff in your wallet, which I think is so handy as well. And just make sure you download it in advance or save it to your phone, or if you get like a PDF or something in an email. All these little things can really make a lot of difference when you're traveling.
Definitely, definitely.
Okie dokie. Well, let's go to number 5. Invest in a portable charger. I need to make sure I get a better one. Mine was rubbish on holiday. So I need to do this. I need to buy a better one, because I think that really makes a big difference especially when you're traveling for a long time.
Yeah, so you're traveling for a long time and you're bored. And so the chances are you are going to be on your phone perhaps a little bit more when you're in the airport or wherever, when you're waiting around for whatever your next destination is. And so I think you do go on your phone quite a lot. I mean, quite often there's no Wi-Fi. So if you've got the option for things like personal hotspots, if you're anything like me, my kids are all like, Mom, can I use personal hotspot? Which drains your battery like no end. And so it's really useful to have a portable battery to charge up your devices
Yeah.
to take on holidays with you. And all portable chargers are not equal, right? So there's little tiny ones that will give you maybe 10 or 20% of charge, and there are ones that are quite beefy that will give you 10 charges. And so I definitely think it's worth investing in a portable charger, even if your phone, like my phone now, I mean, Apple phones are notoriously bad for losing their battery charge quite quickly over the years. But my one will definitely stay for a full normal day, but it won't stay for a full day if I'm on my phone the whole time,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah.
So just be mindful of that and maybe invest in a portable charger before you go away.
Yeah, because I also because I remember when back in May when I went to Venice with my sister, I brought my normal charger with me. But of course, it's like, and then I was in the airport and I'm like plugging it in. I'm like, why is it not charging? Oh, said the guy next to me, that charging point is not working. I did the same thing as you. So I'm like trying to close down as many tabs as I can, and I'm turning the brightness down because I have got my phone. According to my kids, I am blind and I can't see a thing, and because my brightness is always so up, and they're like, just turn your brightness, and I'm like, I can't see a thing. But the brightness also really drains your battery if you're taking lots and lots of pictures and you're on your phone on maps and trying to walk around Venice or wherever you are. So you have to really think, I think, because you don't want to miss out on that beautiful picture that you want to then take in the end because your battery is dead.
Definitely. So yeah, good one. Good first
Yes.
five, I think, Ingrid, right?
Yes. A shopping list. Buy a new portable charger.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Right.
something that is useful. We're not really big advocates of buying stuff, but I do think that's well worth the
Mm.
investment, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's go for a break. And we got 5 more after the break. So see you soon. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to your 10 travel hacks to keep you organized podcast. We did 5 before the break because it's a 10 things good podcast, but with a little twist for you this week. And we are continuing with number 6 of the list, and that is snap a photo of your luggage in case it gets lost. That I should have done that. That is not that I lost my luggage, but that would have been really good idea. I'm going to
Yeah,
remember this.
maybe we should have done these before you went away.
I know. The thing is, Leslie, I've gone away a lot earlier than normal this year because, of course, both the kids were off school. So I finally could go outside of the school holidays. But yes, I'm going to remember this for next time.
And you went on an airplane. Are you going to tell us where you went?
Oh, well, we did a really far away holiday this year. So normally we always go camping in France, and because the kids are nearly off to university and they're off to doing sixth form. So we said, okay, let's do a nice holiday. So we went to the Dominican Republic. Yes, I
Nice.
know, I know. It was amazing, absolutely
Oh,
amazing. So, so my holidays is already over, Leslie. I can't believe it. Normally I was going August, and I had something to look forward to, but no, all done and dusted.
oh, just my holidays coming then, Ingrid.
I
Just
know,
my
I know,
holidays coming.
I
But
know.
anyway, but I'm not going away in the summer. So yeah, I'm feeling all holiday bereft because you know everybody knows how much I like to go on holiday. So
Yeah,
it was your turn. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think it's really useful. I mean, both of us have spoken about the fact that we've lost our luggage, and the more you travel, the more chance it's going to be that at some point something's going to go wrong. I think, we do travel quite a lot, but we've had at least 4 or 5 occasions where our luggage just got lost, sometimes for a few hours, sometimes for a week. And so it can be a pain. And I think one of the really useful things is to be able to identify that to the people that are looking for that luggage. I mean, sometimes it's more about tracking it and codes and stuff like that. But sometimes, depending on what kind of airport you're in, it is just a quick sift through the airport that they're looking for the bag, and if you can identify what it looks like, makes things a little bit easier. So do take a photograph of your luggage that you can then use to send to lost luggage people.
yeah, good one. I really, really like that. I actually, very randomly, Leslie, I saw a picture, I think on social somewhere, of somebody who had this really colorful suitcase and had matching colorful trousers with it. It actually
Why?
really tickled me. I don't know, but it really tickled me. I was like, oh, that's really odd. It was like super colorful with like lots and I'm like, okay, he is really determined that that suitcase goes with him.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Right, let's go to number 7, Leslie. And we need to talk about maps a little bit, and not the old-fashioned paper maps that I
I do
love.
I do remember our experience of Google Maps in Newcastle. Do you remember? So I was like, yeah, we'll just go. Me and Ingrid had gone to a conference together. We came out of Newcastle train station. We had to get to the hotel. And I decided that it was a really good idea for me to take the reins on the maps. And Ingrid was like, I just don't think we're going the right way, Leslie. I'm like, yeah, it's down here, it's down here. So I said, on maps, we were literally like the opposite directions where
Yeah,
we need to be. So, but I am notoriously bad for directions. My brain cannot compute directions. Time zones, directions, tricky for me.
I don't even know why I let you take charge, because I've got a really good feeling for directions and things. So it's like, I don't even know why I was following you. I'm like, oh, I was thinking, this doesn't feel like the right way.
It was quite funny. But anyway, we have not got to our actual point, which is if you know that you're going somewhere, where, so obviously sometimes now we've got things like roaming that we can use our 4G, 5G abroad in different countries. If obviously you're in the States and Canada, you're probably going to be staying within your own country, but going out of state and things like that. But it's really useful just in case you lose connection to have the opportunity to still use maps and use maps offline. And so if you know that you're going to a certain place where Wi-Fi, not Wi-Fi, sorry, where Wi-Fi or 5G might not be available, then it's really useful for you to download the offline version of Google Maps for yourself. And I'm sure there are other map companies are available. So there's probably Apple Maps or Google Maps all do offline versions. And so if you really want to prepare in advance, that's a really good idea, isn't it? Because you don't want to lose yourself when you're trying to navigate, particularly in Newcastle. Well, we might have been okay. Maybe that was the problem, Ingrid. We were Wi-Fi-less.
I can't remember, Leslie, but I mean, And if all else fails, a paper map still works as well, if you can find one.
Would you use a paper map? But I don't, but you don't see people using paper maps at all
I
anymore,
know.
do you?
No,
Ever?
no.
It used to be like it'll spot the tourist kind of thing, didn't it? And you'd see somebody on a map, but people just don't do it anymore at all
No.
because it's just there all on Google and much more up to date as
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
in principle. So, yeah, so Google Maps offline is a really good idea if you know that you're going to be going to somewhere where connection is compromised.
Yeah. Good idea. Good idea. We've got another good one for you. Number 8. When you're going somewhere on holiday, on vacation, whether it's a hotel or a bed and breakfast or an Airbnb or whatever, see if they've got a little business card which has the name and the address, and either snap a picture of it or just pop it into your backpack or your handbag or whatever. So in case you are suddenly deciding to take a taxi or an Uber, or I don't know, a rickshaw if it's a driverless city, that you can show the person where you need to go to, especially if there's a language barrier, right? That might be very helpful as well. But yeah, have those details at hand. Don't just go, oh yeah, well, it was somewhere over there, my hotel, or my Airbnb. Yeah, especially if it's a bigger city, it gets tricky sometimes.
I think that I think the language barrier is a good one. So if you're speaking in a different language, the way that you think something should be said and the way it's said in a local dialect is completely different. So yeah, it's been really helpful. It's something that I always do when I'm in taxis. So yeah.
Yeah, good idea. Very good idea. Well, we're flying through them on this side of it. We had lots of things to chat about, but we're flying through them. We're going to number 9. Another good one is to buy a local SIM card. Well, we definitely did that in the Dominican Republic, Leslie.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really, really helpful. And it's something that we've done. It didn't used to be that easy, but now they're there at the airports and everything. And it's just easy to just, you can sort of, for £10, it takes the hassle away and you can just use your normal connection or whatever you can connect to their Wi-Fi. I don't know how does it work? You know what I mean? It connects to connection. What do you call it? I can't remember what it's called. It's not Wi-Fi, is it? What do you
Like
call it?
broadband?
No, it's not a broadband. On your phone, like on your phone. What's that called? I know it's called like 5G or
Like a wireless
4G.
connection or something?
Yeah.
I'm rubbish with tech terms. Why are you asking me?
I was using broadband, like on your phone as you're walking
Oh,
around.
good job.
You're walking around Dominican Republic looking for the broadband. So this is my business partner, and went, by the way, we run a tech-based company.
Oh, I'm a
This
nightmare with
is my actual
terminology.
life. This is my life. I mean, I can't remember it, but she thinks broadband is related to phone. Right,
Oh
okay.
my gosh. Cut this out of the podcast.
Hide in a dark room. Anyway, back to the case in point. Don't struggle without connection. We're just going to call it connection for argument's sake, because I can't remember what it's called. I'm going to have to call my son down from upstairs and go, what's it called? The thing on your phone. Anyway, dearie me. No, I don't even know. Like, we did think about editing this out because it was so diabolically bad, but we're going to leave it in because we're laughing. It is, in fact, called data, which is not difficult for us to remember, but maybe it's been a long week. So buying a local SIM card allows you then to use mobile data abroad off your phone as if you were at home in Manchester or London. And so for the sake of it, it's obviously different in different parts of the world. But I think, where did we go last year? And we went somewhere, I think I went to Africa or somewhere where it was really useful to have that. Do you know what I mean? Because Wi-Fi wasn't readily available. I mean, you can obviously go from Wi-Fi hotspot to Wi-Fi hotspot as well. So it's not essential, but it's kind of handy if you're traveling around and things. And so look for those at the airport. There's also ways that you can buy them online as well. There's like eSIMs and things like that as well. So, or you can get physical SIMs often in the airport. And the airport are quite, we've found them to be, and we have found the airports to be competitive as well on price and stuff, because Steve looks at that kind of thing before we go away. So invest in a SIM for data, Ingrid. That
Oh my
modern
gosh.
terminology.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's me with my maps. I mean, it's amazing. I'm allowed a phone, actually.
It is. It
I
really
just,
is.
I think I just still have one, which is
Did
where you
I
can only
know
like
it when we
call
went
and.
into business together? Did I know that you were like an actual dinosaur when it comes to technology? Do you know what I mean? I mean, I have managed, what you
Oh,
see before you today, I have managed to drag her kicking and screaming into the 21st century. But honestly, it's not easy.
oh, dearie me. Right. Well, let's go to the last. Let's move on to the last one before. Oh, Leslie, it gets really all.
This is more your oh my God, I can't even speak. This is more your domain, Ingrid, this one,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
This is more
Yeah.
old school.
Yeah, old school, old school. Well, let's swiftly move on to the last one. Number 10, make sure you carry a backup credit card and maybe some cash as well in another place than only your main wallet. So don't put all of the money and all of the cards in one place. Make sure you kind of spread it out a little bit so you don't, if you lose a suitcase, which is possible, that you still have, a backup plan because, you will have to pay out immediately for stuff as soon as you arrive, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it is useful as well to use the hotel safe if you're in a hotel. Do you know what I mean? For sure. They're there for a reason, those
Yeah.
safes. And so I definitely make use of those and put anything important in there, including your passport. So yeah, nice little 10 hacks. We just laughed our way through that, didn't we? As if we were
Yeah.
still on holiday, Ingrid, and not actually doing our actual day job, recording sensible podcasts, giving sensible advice.
That's true. Can I just tell you one other travel hack that has to do with safes?
Yeah, go on.
I one time saw a travel hack from a pilot who, of course, traveled all around the world the whole time, and he kind of has like nice shoes that he wears with his pilot outfit, and he would put one of his nice shoes in the safe with his passport and his documents, so when he would get dressed, he would never forget to empty the safe. How clever is that? I thought that was very clever.
I know. It's clever.
Because you when you're packing, you are in a rush, and maybe you've been on
You've
holiday.
got to pre-plan though to remember to put the shoe in the safe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he
That
he did
also
that.
involves remembering things.
Yeah, but I mean, when you have one shoe, you're like, "Where's your?" Oh, it's in the safe, and I need to get my documents. I thought that was really clever.
Oh, dear me. Next time I go on holiday with you and we share a hotel room, which we do on occasion, if I see your sandals in the safe or whatever, one sandal, I'll know where that's come from.
Yeah,
Anyway, well, I've enjoyed that talking about holidays, even though I'm not going on holiday for a while, which is
I
very
know.
depressing.
I know, but you've got some really nice holidays coming, so I do not feel sad for you at all.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, I know we've laughed a lot, but I hope it's been really, really useful as well. And maybe you're like, I'm feeling smug with myself. I'm already doing loads of these travel hacks. Let us know. Leave us a comment, leave us a review. We would love to know from you which of these travel hacks you're already using, or maybe you thought that's a really good one. I had never thought about it. I'm going to do this from now on. Let us know. And yeah, we'll be back next week with another brand new podcast. But for now, thank you so much for listening and for being here.
Thanks so much for listening to the Declutter Hub podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to us in your podcast player so you don't miss an episode, and we'll see you next week.